Nemo yen shancing free the United States of America. US president said was shutting down US aid. Now it would have impact on Africa and other developing countries who rely on US aid for some aid. And the young Kwahomano so na started with Dr. John Osai Kwapon, or no a fellow. It was CDD, Center for Democratic Development. Yaneno encoding commona. Doc, ono yobia. When na this you know nya bebre e US ho. Yeah, because I cry ho no join here from into hotel. So to nyoma na ekona say. Doc Martin bibia boko there.
Macho, me also bibia boko.
Yo. Doc, yen share sa announcement by President Trump's USAID or for the year. Yen started from what you know as someone who's so much committed to development, Grano. What Jane is saying?
Michia na Michia weti for so. Me tea news no. Two things. Anyame wawa in the sense that this particular administration no omo a different attitude towards the entire federal government operations. Intino ohwe no maybe a omo try so omo beye ne nsem bi omo kekana now to mu say omo nyaya the size of the federal government the omo be shrink no. I mean why omo floaty this idea of so we ejuma for federal government resign anaje buyout package na kotnefi but I also don't know how I know would work. On that score, no, I never. But with USAID, no, say, especially the powerful countries, no, you're free be soft power. So I'll try say you would build allies and relationships with other countries. There are different ways and yes, in terms of your military strength. And build a global influence. Sometimes through no maybe to say foreign aid, because after all, say you know the wow crew sika another crew say no you can build friendship. Ebia also ebia who here be now who here say your strategic interests are protected in that region of the world. Such countries are more aid, you know, would come to your defense or would come and support you. Into on that part, no, one kakra say, you know, there's this idea say you bit me I shut it down the entire USAID, unless of course the omo plan is say, yeah, shutting it down temporarily. Nafi yen share the kinds of normal you feel say USAID the American taxpayer dollars shimu any normal yen per se American taxpayer dollars kabekum dia. That's a different story.
Okay.
But if the whole idea is shutting it down and pulling out completely from doing any kind of foreign aid there no there may no margin chairman say it's not the proper way to go a hard dream.
But from baby out, do you foresee, sir, the Trump administration will probably obey BBR aid, but not in the frame of USAID, no?
I hope so. So far, no mum dear, any indication of the next steps beyond the immediate directive to shut down. I'm hoping, say, that would be the next step, say. You know, 90 days now or more can review period no, would be used to determine whether, okay, over this 90 days in ABI USAID, there were 6 key areas. Sikako, you know, this area, Sikako, this area, you feel say, sa area where in your area, you per se US, you in Sikako abroad, into a bit jai. But these other things, you better then that's fine. But there's a lot of uncertainty where all of this you know is going. But I am hoping say the approach no would be go through BBR USAID this around the globe and make some decisions around as a country, you know, DNA per se prioritize it and at the end the person ye after all I know the sebio America for ne yo musika, and you know the government has every right to decide how it wants to prioritize foreign aid assistance. And you know the you know it's up to them, but I just hope say in doing that, you know, it won't be foreign aid creating.
Okay, but so sana akobano does it show say be President Trump maybe at the team more to because all bebano nankofo be a analysis between or no any the Democrat candidate Harris. No more chance I will share the Republicans no more approach now. It will look as though they will take a second look at almost support for Africa. With Nnawotwe, does it really show say be a omono too bad towards Africa now say I will say yeah soon you taken as an opportunity. Na ye de yesua se ne ye be ye nneoma for ourselves.
You know say minim say so much etrimodern as opposed to ideology. Republicans sankasa in principle no. Most of the or at least over the years I may matna krom ha no. Otati omokasa omotaka oh big government they say shrinking the size of government, right? Yeah, small government, but most of the time no mutaka sa no mana it was really more about normal omofo say government disikashemu even on domestic issues ne foreign policy assistance ne ade. And part of it is and so much etrimodern as opposed to belief my ideology about the role of government, especially even on matters of domestic and foreign assistance. Into that's part of the struggle, or part of the what is driving some of this. The other one is, as you said, it's a wake-up call for Yenso because you depended quite a bit on donor assistance and foreign aid. And making kind news say last year in Ghana say yes signed 2 agreements with the US government through USAID. Bakun was worth about I think it's $25 million. It was going to support primary health care. And USAID was going to contribute almost 19 million. Ghana Yenya contributed 6 million.
Yeah.
Same last year. So you're signing another initiative, $45 million around maternal health near there, right? Into can we boom and both of it near over the next 5 years. And you are talking $70 million to support just 2 initiatives in the entire health sector over the next 5 years. Fan says a USAID qua HSSR Sikano Emba. It's a wake-up call for Yenso to try and find out or to try and figure out ways in which Sebio Yenso Angasano Yebitmi Aboye and wean ourselves off this too much dependence on foreign aid. Of course, Ubia Hiamwa at some point, Krubia be Hiamwa Kakra. So there's no problem with that. But I think this goes to show us first no Yankasana say a boy na baby to see yape other foreign assistance to close in the gap. And it's me Yakakra also said the idea that former President Nanado had Ghana Beyond Aid, sa conversation, and tumpo one to the extent that we would have hoped say I mean, I know some people thought it was just mere, a political talk near there, but the core of the idea, was a very good idea of a bedu baby, to aid so debiasa into can we start putting things in place that would move Ghana beyond aid? Hopefully, SARS situation gives us an opportunity to revisit that conversation. Fine, ABR, it won't have to be called Ghana Beyond Aid, but we need to start having SAR conversation and taking active steps to say, how can we reduce our dependence on foreign aid so that BBC is here. Yes, Donald Trump would not be in office forever, and Ofi office in 4 years. Now, when he said Democrat, there's a good chance that or mobile restore some of the things near there. But we can't keep going through this up and down periods. At least, and no, obi fufuro bad they be no so can say no more foreign aid. At least we know say we are prepared to fend for ourselves.
I mean, every year Ghana got $115 million from the USAID. This year, for example, you are requested for $137.7 million US dollars. And we na kobana sano. A crime in Ghana was said to me first to block the whole away the Baba because almost support was in education, health, economic growth, agriculture, and the governance. 137.7 million. IBA Enkoba. How do we deal with it?
So, I mean, you have a number of ways. ABR, you can turn to other development partners. I say, if they can help you, fill in some of those gaps. In ABR, you can turn to, the European Union, right, as one possible source. But some also they've made other commitments. Into, make sure say it will be that easy to for other development partners to immediately absorb some of these gaps that would be created. That's one. The other thing too is it forces us say yankasa anso na no yen budget and see programs that we can shift around or delay its rollout and implementation. Because even OSHE budget now, fine. I mean, new government next year will present your new budget in 2025. But going off the estimates from the 2024 now, finance minister no fees no present here now. The next 3 fiscal years will be running some major deficits, and it's not as though per se a quite way budget no put to say oh okay sasike you bet me a year fi ha. So it's a challenging time, and it will be very interesting to see how current government is or put it together or more FY25 budgets in March. How they plan to make up for it. But like I said, either you can turn to your donor partners, you can put some programs nanke funding. You may have to put it on hold until that 90-day review period is over and the US government makes a final decision on what they want to do about USAID.
And no, President Mahama to just say, the members of the government, were banning or more for some use first class to travel. Or say, or my near which they want to me for first class and travel. And again, want to me point so I now because to quite. I was say chief of staff, and who's a way essential. As I walk, and so cry, no first class. Way to go to try and block some loopholes. And I to me, and yes, come fan share, baby, ye be here, Scadia, Wabra, USAID for say 137 be a number.
Exactly. I mean, me feel say ne quite swan. I mean, every so often, Rebecca na and whenever we hear of government reports of government spending, or share public sentiment, we say things like, hey, sika bebre ye say ankasa sika no betimi de aye bibi fufro now betimi de aye adwuma in this sector. Now you can invest it in maybe health or education or even eliminating schools under trees, etc., etc. And to me mum de me feel say ne kwan so no Honorable Ablakwa can be doing his vetting say even beyond whether being too quiet, flying first class or a business near the end. The other thing that you also have to pay attention to is even the size of the delegation, right? Into okay, we a government official, essential travel, only business class. Na sebiu udi nipa 100 idiwechia. It defeats the purpose of trying to save money on foreign travel for government officials near the Intino. But I also hope say say all the travel requests no call for chief of staff ni reviewer. Depending on the numbers you submit to the chief of staff, no, hopefully, no chief of staff be wo ho kwan so betimi akasio ebia minister baby a wokwe wo se wo pese wo ni pa 20 na eko, but ye hwe ye sika semo a ye nte so ye nyi ebi mfi mu na umfa just your essential people in kwenti wo de fa ebia nipa 5 and nipa 7 in ko. But again, memum de me force any kwan so no, anything that can save the government money, no, especially in the times that we are, no, it's always a step in the right direction.
Okay, so advice Ben Odbema Ghana government as well as other African government. Ni ebetumi aye ni manim ya ebetumi akrokra ho was a US for a how betumi aye USAID. Ya to say US for a say they also give foreign aid. But when USAID or more block or more 137 million enkobe, then I see it to me to be able to manage your until say from
yeah, in the interim, the animenimia we'll have to take a look at young Kasaya national budgets and see how you bit me prioritize it no maybe into no maybe our programs and services be or what animenimia intimia we may have to put them on hold. And ask ourselves, say, Yankasa ya ho de no, then a bit me amaya ye, immediately. That's one way. Said amidi kai so no, we may have to turn to other donor partners. Yes, they may not be able to give us everything or fill in those gaps, but we can turn to other donor partners and say, Abia, some particular program where they are very critical. Abia ibenya 10 binti mubenya 2 bia so swamaya, but those are some of the things that I think say immediately we would have to start thinking about.
Okay, all right. Doctor also kapon pacho medasi pass what many edin komo anapay on Adom TV.
Asida ni hopa.
Dr. John Osai kapon a CDD fellow on now to say in edin komo on a USD